Hi, I'm Diana. We were given these faucets in return for a review. I'm going to have Kevin walk you through what's included, and then he's going to do a detailed installation so you can see that this is something you can do. You don't need a plumber to do it. So watch this video and follow along.
Very first thing that pops out at me is the drain mechanism, and it is nice. It's a pop-up drain mechanism, which is really nice. Here's some connecting hoses. This obviously has a T involved. So if you've known anything about plumbing at all, one of these will go to the hot water, one will go to the cold water, and one will actually go to the faucets. Here's your two feed lines. One with red stripes, which of course would be your hot line feed. One with blue stripes, which would be your cold water feed. Here's one of the valves. That will be the right side. And here is the actual faucet itself. I've done a lot of these installations, so this one looks like it's going to be very practical and very easy to do. So that one's ready to go. We did buy the 2-pack, so we're going to be doing 2 sinks today. There is the second one.
Very important, shut the water off. If you can't shut it off at the valves underneath the sink, shut it off at the main out in the street.
You're going to need a couple crescent wrenches, and you're going to need a 3/4 inch. I recommend this box end wrench to attach the faucet. The screw on the faucet is 3/4 inch. You're going to need that to attach that to the sink. And by the way, when you're tearing apart your old apparatus, the old valve and the old drain, 3 parts you need to save are the P-trap, of course, and then these 2 parts come off the old drain itself. You'll need to slide them off and save them because they will go on the new drain. I'll show you how that happens when we get going. Also, bring a blade with you, just a scraper around here, keep it nice and clean. Let's do the faucet first. We're going to undo the nut, and we're going to pull. There's a rubber gasket and a metal gasket. You're going to pull those both off, and you'll see the little knobs on the rubber gasket. Those go in those holes for the metal gasket. We're going to drop this through the center apparatus, and you don't need to worry about any silicone or anything. There's an O-ring here that when you attach this, it will firm up nicely against the sink. So I'm going to go underneath now, and I'm going to do this by feel. I'm just going to feel where it goes. You're going to put that around the threaded stalk again, and then you're going to put that nut back on. Up against the bottom of the sink to where this won't move. So you get it kind of in position where you want it. Then take your open end and your box end wrench. You're going to come down underneath here. But you do want it firm so that your spout doesn't move on the top of the sink. I'm going to show you a hack for the valves. Lines attached to the valves. And you can put the valves in and try to attach this feed line underneath, cranking a wrench up there and this and that and the other thing. Why not do it while it's right in front of you? So pull off the locking mechanism here and pull off the ring. This ring tightens up against the bottom. Again, this has an O-ring on it, just like I showed you on the valve. Now, let's put this on now so that we don't need to worry about doing it once we're underneath the sink. You're going to need 2 wrenches, one to hold this little line on the valve, and one to firm this up. Now, you don't need to do a lot. It doesn't need to be like cranked down again. Once you feel it getting tight, about 1/4 of a turn after that is all you need to do. So then when we get this down underneath there, we're going to put this back over the feed line first, then back up into here. See how that works? So here we go. I'm going to put the cold water in first. That's always on the right. Oh, and by the way, on the valve, there's a little gray dot. Align that with where it is that you want the back of the valve to be straight to. You know, some people like it. Some people like it straight to the back. I like mine at a little angle. I like mine to kind of follow the curve of the sink. So I'm going to put mine at a little bit of an angle there. Now I'm going to find that feed line, and I'm going to bring this locking mechanism and the ring over the feed line. Get it up over all the stuff that's underneath there. Again, I'm doing this by feel. Then you want to line up that locking ring and to thread it on, get it started. Now there's 2 locking screws that actually put the tension against the sink and the valve. That will hold the valve in place. There's 2 locking screws. They're Phillips head screws, so you're going to need a Phillips screwdriver. Again, just tighten it to a position where it's good. Then bring your Phillips screwdriver down with you. And my light went out. So now all I'm doing is tightening up those 2 screws. So now we just need to do the same thing on the hot water valve. Goes on the left side always. Again, we put this ring over the feed line. By the way, some people make the mistake and they go through all this process of lining it up and putting this back on the valve, and they've got the screws upside down. Remember, the screws face the bottom. Nice and firm. They open up nicely, look together. You hot, cold, good. Next, we take this T. And we want to do this nice and smoothly. We don't want any kinks. We don't want to have to force it into place. Let it fall where it's going to fall. Most likely it's going to look like that when we get underneath there. And this is just press and play. We're going to take the valve first. Press it up. You hear it click, it's in play. Take this one over here to the cold. Press up, you hear it click, it's now good. Here's the other one. Press up, hear it click, it's now good. So the last thing we do, all we have to do now, is connect the feed lines to your valves. Again, you want to do it with minimum kinkage in the line. Again, with these feed lines, you don't need to crank them down. When you feel it getting firm, that's all you need to worry about. Just get it good and firm. It doesn't need to be cranked down because these have a rubber gasket in them. Okay, I feel it getting firm, so just another quarter turn or so is all you need. Feeling it getting firm, another quarter turn is all you need. The drain, they recommend no plumber's putty, which is nice. No plumber's putty. Now, bear in mind how this comes off, because it doesn't go back up skinny side up, it goes up fat side up, okay? You're gonna pull off the big rubber gasket, but leave the thin gasket, see this thin gasket? It stays on. That's what seals the top side. Oh, and also you're gonna pull off this plastic cap that protects the pop-up drain. And these are nice pop-up drains. This is really cool. If you've never had a pop-up drain, you're going to love these. All right, so that goes straight down there. This goes up, slanted in, okay? Slanted in towards the top. We're going to put that up over the threaded stock, and over the collar there. Fat side up. Get it caught with the threads. I like to get both hands down here now and get that firm, give it a good firm twist. Remember the parts I told you needed from the old drain? Locate the ring that tightens this one against the P-trap. Put this, see how it's wedged up or down? You want it to go down, but you want the ring on first. So the ring is going to go first, and then this goes next. So that's going to sit there like that. Now you put your P-trap back on. You want to always connect the little side first. Just see how this is little side down here? You want to connect this first because otherwise you'll never get it to line up.
So let that fall into place there. Get that threaded nice and cleanly. Toilet papers will show spots of water very easily. So I'm going to turn the two valves on. All right, we got good water. Got no drain leakage, no leakage at the valves. We're good to go.